from the form, which we're going to start off with just practicing, bring the weight forwards, circle, strike, into the center and out of the center at the same time. Now bring the left hand in, 1, 2, and then as you circle the left hand around again, 3. And that's when you step and strike again. So there's a whole sequence that goes through this, and it's all about these small circles and moving in. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And this is where the small circles from Bagua come from. So we're doing all of these strikes. So this one here, it's not just a straight turn upwards. The fingers come around because we want to make the space for that follow-up strike. So as soon as the punch comes in, we come around, we bump. The second circle, we need to lift the elbow and strike. And that way we come off of the bridge, okay? His arm should be nice and close now, so there's no way that he can utilize that arm to strike in, or at least very effectively at this point. So as the punch comes in, 1, there, and that's where you're going to get your strike. We then switch the hands out, and your left hand, you're going to make a little bit of space underneath your elbow, so you're going to roll that elbow upwards, and then just strike straight across, boom. Like this, okay? So we're going to do it traditionally to start off with, so sticking to the movements of the form, and then we're going to start working it on pads and seeing how you're going to utilize it as a response drill with a partner. Every single application of every single form, you should be training on pads or training with a partner with padding on forearms or something else. Okay, so for the first of these snake drills, we're going to pick up the first punch. You're just going to turn and strike. So the idea is you're going to be doing a figure 8. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And something that we've just discussed is that if you can't find the space for your arm to do the figure 8, your body must still do it, and you must make the space with your feet. Mikesh throws the punch to me, and I pick up this way. If this bridge is now nice and strong, then what I must do is I must do the circle with my hand the same way, but just make a very small step so I can release my elbow and strike straight into gallbladder 3 or anywhere on the side of the head. Right, okay, so 1, 2. Now, it should be a continuation of power. Please, when you're feeding the punches, they don't have to be particularly hard, but they have to be realistic to work with. So when you're going to throw it out, it's going to be light, but it's going to make contact if he misses. So from here, your partner must have something to think about in order to defend himself properly. We've been over this a ton of times. So he's trying to read the energy here, trying not to make too much of a heavy contact because he's got a lot of movement for himself to do. Okay, so you can start off with that one. That's a very easy one to do, and you only need one single pad. From there, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then it comes over, check, 1, release the leg, 2, 3. From the right punch, 1, 2, which is going to be your strike, and then as you shuffle your body position, you're going to go 3 with a glancing shot. Again, we use the Paisi form, which is on the bottom corner of the palm. Okay, so if you find the bottom corner of your palm, this is going to be your connection point. And what it does is it allows maximum power as you change the state of the wrist to strike in. So you can use it for many different angles, but what it's best for is almost like a wedging strike. So it glances and strikes into the target. Now, with these applications as we do this, the right punch comes in. This is number 1. Number 2 is where we turn over and strike in. The elbow comes up. Now, we've got options, and you can practice at all these different ones. You can grab onto the arm and slam the arm back and strike into the face. That's number 1. You can pick up from this strike here. You can pick up the inside of the other punch. So as the left punch comes in, you track the line of it and strike round to the other side of the head. Obviously, these are traditional applications. The chances of you picking up these punches on the move are very difficult. These little tools will allow you to strike from a defensive position in a very short amount of time. And the idea of the snake is that it's going to be very precise. So when you're using these movements here, it might be that you're in that position where you've just picked up that punch, you're not quite sure what's going on. So from here, if you can do this with one hand, then you can easily do it with two. So rather than that one coming over and we're trying to be really clever and only use this one, then when we check the elbow, that strike there, we're setting up on lung 5 and we're striking straight into the temple. We can go to stomach 6 on the corner of the jaw, or we can just slam straight into the head. Anything from that position is going to be a great shot. Now, if that hasn't done the job, then what we can do is we can just slam the other hand straight in. Boom. We have different applications, obviously, that we learn, and you can do a straight palm into the side of the head, probably your easiest option. But one thing you've got to be very careful about is your fingers. So with the snake, we turn the palm sideways, and it's very common that we strike with the hand on the angle. So from here, as we struck here, we're going to just come straight into the eye socket and strike into the center of the head. We're going to reload and come in from the other side. So as we struck into the face, we're then going to get the follow-up punch, which is the left. So the left one comes in. Now this movement here can be a strike to the inside of the arm as we come through, but then it's going to circle all the way through and then scrape across the eyes. When we're working with these applications, you've got to think of the likelihood. Also think about how you're going to stop yourself getting injured. Scraping the fingers across the eyes at that kind of pace could be your ticket to a broken finger. So as that punch comes in, if we just take the second part of this section, so that's that movement here, and then we get to release it again. So that whole section is going to be the rechambering of the same hand. So how you generate the power. So from here, the hand comes up. Again, we look to strike to the eyes, but I wouldn't advise it, not when you're in this close of a trapping range. But as we turn the hand over and strike, that's where the shot comes in. I do have the option of my other hand as well, and that's exactly why later on in the section itself, we strike forward, fold down, and step through with the other palm. Every single time as you're striking through, your waist chambers and loads the power, so even if you hit a complication or a bridge somewhere else, you can then strike off in another direction.